Hey AJ families, Coach Crenshaw here with another easy at-home game to play to get some exercise in, and this one is really fun. I think you're really going to enjoy it. Today's game is called Slam Ball, and in order to play, all you need is a couple of things. One hula hoop, one ball of any kind that will bounce, and at least two people. Don't freak out if you heard some things that you don't have. For example, hula hoop is needed to play this game, but if you don't have a hula hoop, that's okay. In fact, we don't even have a hula hoop at our house, and we were still able to play. All you need to do is turn your creative minds on and think, what in my house can I use to create a big circle on the floor, about the size of a hula hoop? So what we did, we took two towels and we rolled them up, and then once we had two rolls of towels, we positioned them on the floor so that they would make a circle about similar size to a hula hoop, maybe a little smaller, but that's okay. So if you guys don't have hula hoops at your house, maybe you have a jump rope that you could put out. Maybe you can use towels like we did, or maybe you can get really creative and use something else. So I want to see what you guys can come up with. There are quite a bit of different ways that you can actually play this game with your family depending on how many people you have or which style you want to go for. The basic rules will be the same for each different type of the game, so I will go over those, and then I will go through the different ways that you can actually play the game. I will drop the directions at the end of the video so that you can pause and screenshot the rules of whichever type you want to play, just in case you don't get it all while I'm talking. Now, every game of Slam Ball starts off with a serve, so you can choose a person. Again, you need at least two people to play, but you can have 3, 4, 5, 6, as many as you can get. It needs to be a ball that can bounce. We chose a small ball, but any ball that you have that you can kind of slap and it'll hit the floor and bounce back up will work. Okay, maybe something kind of rubbery, maybe a Nerf ball, something like that. The person who serves will start by hitting their ball down into the circle, and then when it pops up, the next person will play the ball. You have up to 3 hits to hit the ball back down into the circle, but you don't have to use all 3. So for example, if someone hits it as a serve and it comes to you, you can pass it to yourself before you hit it back down into the circle, but that third hit has to go back down. You could also do this only passing it to yourself once, so using only 2 of your hits, or you could just slam it right back down and only use 1 hit. So you can use 1, 2, or 3, it's completely up to you. The way someone scores a point, let's say I hit it and it lands on the circle that I've created or outside of the circle. That would cause the other person in the game to score a point because I made a mistake. Another way that they can score a point is if I miss the ball altogether, or if I use more than my 3 hits. So if I hit it 4 times before I slammed it back down. So if you're playing with 2 people and you're playing one-on-one, you can choose to play, let's say we'll play to 5, we'll play to 10, we'll play to 11. The first person to score that many points would be the winner. If you're playing with 3 or 4 people, instead of scoring points, you get in or out. So if I hit the ball and it lands on the outside of the circle, I would be out of the game. You kind of play like last man standing, and so you want to be the last one left in the game. If you have 4 people exactly, you can play teams. So it would be 2 on 2. So you would pick a partner, and instead of working against your partner, you would work together with your partner to try to beat the other team. So we could actually use our 3 hits to pass it back and forth to each other before we slam it down. And that way we give ourselves a better chance of beating the other team. So if you have exactly 4 people, you can play 2 teams of 2. Now the last way you can play is if you have 5 or more, you can play almost like a 4-square type game. And if someone makes a mistake, then they would be out and they would have to go to the end of the line and a new person will file in. Now, of course, in 4-square you have king and all that, which you wouldn't have in Slam Ball, but it's that idea of rotating in and out. Just to recap, if you have just 2 people, you can play points and go head to head. Or if you have 4 people, you can play 2 teams and play points and go head to head. If you have 3, 4 or more, you can play last man standing, and if you make a mistake, then you would be out and you're trying to be the last one left in order to win. Or you can play foursquare type deal, or if you get out, you just go to the end of the line and then circle back in when it's your turn, and that's if you have 4, 5, or more players. This game is really, really fun. We had an absolute blast playing it. If you've ever played Spike Ball, it's very similar to that, but anyone can do it and you don't need special equipment. You can play this game inside or outside. But before you choose to play inside like we did, please make sure you ask a parent and make sure it's okay, because your mom or dad might want you to actually play outside. If you do play outside, make sure you use a hard surface like the sidewalk, the driveway, or maybe a porch or deck, something like that. Grass or sand wouldn't be the best place for slam ball. I hope you have fun and enjoy!